ladies and gentlemen, Victor Borge.
I said last time that we were going to devote this particular section to opera, and that's exactly what we were going to do. By the way, you know, there was Mr. Bernstein who composed the music to that show, of which we just play a tune. And I heard recently Mr. Bernstein explaining the music of Shostakovich, to Shostakovich. Now, I'm going to bring back the young singer you heard at the previous show, Miss Marilyn Mulvey, because I promised to do so. I promised her to do it, I promised you to do it, and I like to do it myself anyway, so here she is, Marilyn Mulvey. Some of you remember Marilyn from the last show, which was some time ago. Now, she was younger then, a few hours, and now, hands up. It might interest you to know that Marilyn recently won the first prize of the international audition from the Metropolitan Opera in New York. Tonight, Marilyn, I would ask you to sing something, perhaps, I owe you really a solo, a nice thing, you know. So would you sing one of the arias that you sang at that thing there where you won that first prize?
Yes, an excerpt from the a Russian opera, excerpt from the Russian opera.
From the Russian opera.
Yes.
Yes, I don't think any, this is the one, what is the title of it?
Michael Ivanovich Falafel.
Yeah, it is a Russian opera that has never been played outside Russia. And its title is Ivan Ivanovich Falafel. It is about a Tsar, right? Yeah. About a Tsar who czarred around in the 12th century. Yeah, 1135, 36, quarter of 12. And he was, his name was Ivanovich Falafel. He had a horse he loved to fall off, and that gave him the nickname Falafel. And then, am I right, in the second act, the horse dies, so now he has not... Now he has nothing to fall off of. And that, he was quite stupid anyway. So now he loses his something psychologically and develops a speech impediment. And this is pretty bad because he's the tenor and the thing in the opera. And that could be one of the reasons why it has never been played outside Russia. Because but I don't know, I'm just guessing. Anyway, to help him out, his brother, Sonovovich Folofov, comes from Pinsk. Or some Pinsk or Minsk, whatever it is. That's not important because it has nothing to do with the opera. He comes from Pinsk there, and he comes from a long line of bachelors, in a way. And therefore, is that right? Yeah. Therefore, he is not in line for the throne, except at great parties at the palace, of course. Everybody is actually, in a way. There's only one throne in Russia, and that is generally occupied, or was generally occupied by the Tsar himself. And there he is. Not any longer, though, but he used to be. That's about all. Oh, then in the third act, when the curtain rises, we find Marilyn. She comes in from one of the sides there, and in the background is at the stage setting, there's a Russian church, and the bells are pealing. As a matter of fact, the whole church is in bad repair. Now they wheel Marilyn in a little wheelbarrow, and they just found her outside the theater there, and in she comes and starts singing. All right. That's all I know about it. It's not important, really, the story. Just sing it and let's get it over. But, I mean, no, I mean that.
Could we start with the recitative?
You want to start with the recitative? Oh, yes. Do you want to do that? Marilyn wants to start with the recitative. This involves, of course, the bass, which is Sonovovich Folofov, the brother, and the tenor, which is the Tsar, and Marilyn, who is the... Now, I'll just lead you into it, and then you take over there, whatever. Funny thing down there. Chopper what? Okay, it's fine with me. Once more, please. It's over there. Now, I'm going to ask you to sing one alone without my help. Yeah. How about that? Marilyn is going to sing an aria from Donizetti's Lucia di Lammermoor. And what's the name of that darn thing?
The Regnava nel silenzio, excerpt from
It's a silent coffee. Please. You know, normally, and I haven't done it tonight, and I'm glad because normally, you know, I have 5 children, by the way. Not by the way, I have 5 children. They always tell me that I go around wherever I do a show, or whenever I'm on the stage or at home, I go around, you know, I do this all day long. It's kind of a habit I have, you know. Make up little tunes like that. Would you like to hear another one? Actually, Mozart did the same thing, you know. But he wrote his down, of course, which is makes a lot of difference. Oh, speaking of Mozart, I forgot to show you something that might be of interest. I'm sure it is, because it is a collector's item. You know what this is? No, you don't. This is a B, the first note Mozart ever wrote. I have it. This is a collector's item. And I'll show you another thing. Watch. You don't have to watch. I'll show it to you anyhow. I have now, in the other hand, and now in the same hand, the last note Mozart ever wrote. A C. Above the B. Where is that? That's upside down. That's it. No, that's the way. Now you got it. This is what Mozart wrote. And I'll play it for you. if time permits. That's all. Imagine that is Mozart. However, we should be grateful to Mozart for this. Because if it hadn't been for these two notes here, we would never have had this. I have performed, as many of you will know, for a great number of years. And of course, I have gone through an awful lot of material. The routine for which I have had, actually, I think, most requests over the years is the phonetic punctuation. Apparently, you are not familiar with that routine. And I'm going to do it in this particular show. The ones of you who have heard it before, hopefully will enjoy hearing it again. And the ones of you who have never heard it before may enjoy hearing it next time. I invented phonetic punctuation for the good reason that I found that people don't understand each other completely when they speak together. However, when we read or write, we use punctuation marks by adding signs to our sentences, so that we can underline the meaning of these sentences when we read or write. But when we speak together, we do not use punctuation marks. And that might be the reason why we don't always understand each other completely, so to speak. Now, I have, as I said, invented phonetic punctuation, which means that while we speak, we will integrate punctuation marks by adding sounds to them, so that we can underline our sentences when we speak, as well as we do when we read and or write. And I'll teach you the system. It's very simple. A period sounds like this. Oh, I think in England you said full stop. Well, that's a full stop, or if you're not in England, a period. Same thing. Then we have a dash. An exclamation point is a vertical dash with a period underneath. The comma. Quotation or two commas is, if you happen to be left-handed. Question mark is rather difficult. Finally, the colon, the two little dots. I'm going to read a short paragraph from a book I have here on the piano bench. I wasn't prepared for this either. Here it is. I have a short story, and in order to save time, I have marked it, and it's right here in the beginning of the book. So it's a very thin book, so it's all over this beginning, actually. It should be right here. Yeah, page 9. Oh, page 6, that's what it is. In the open window, there suddenly came light. Beautiful Eleanor sat alone, dreaming of but one thing. 2 years had passed since she met Sir Henry. She could still remember the unhappy evening when her father had thrown him out. They had been sitting in the park, and Henry had said, "Darling." Is this the first time you have loved? She had answered, "Yes." But it is so wonderful that I hope it shall not be the last. It's getting a little messy here. Suddenly she heard a well-known sound. It was he. In 2 strides, he was near her, embraced, kissed, and caressed her. Henry! What is love? She asked. He answered, well... I couldn't do without. She asked, I'm sorry. The little left-handed, where have all your thoughts been this while? And he answered, with thee, my maiden. Suddenly he had gone. All she heard was the well-known sound of his... was the well-known sound of his departing horse. We shall now play an arrangement of Franz Lehart's song, You Are My Heart's Delight. offer. Some smiles, some laughs, some coughs, some hiccups. But once in a while, a handkerchief comes out to wipe away a tear from laughter. That is my reward. The rest goes to the government.
Prodigy, a flawed human, but one of the world's greatest composers. Mozart, Rise of a Genius. Watch on BBC iPlayer.